Hey everyone, this is Clifford, and today in this video, I'm going to be doing a Carrot, Yamato, and Vivi video. Basically, what I'm going to be doing in this is I'm sort of going to be giving my insights on why I believe that these are the last three Straw Hat members. Now, keep in mind that this is not an original theory of mine. This has been something out there that a lot of people have been speculating, so this isn't really so much as me, so much as my idea, because this has already been around, and a lot of people have already given their thoughts and insights on it. This is just more of me giving so this is, well, I guess you can basically say it's just me liking the idea too, and I believe it makes a lot of sense. Now keep in mind, I would like to say that there's no guarantee 100% that what I'm going to state is going to be accurately true when it ends up coming true. I would really love Carrot, Yamato, and Vivi to join the crew because I think they could work well for the crew, and I think they could be used well for the story of One Piece moving forward if Oda chooses to do so. Plus, I also feel like we need more females in the crew and stuff like that, and with these three, I think they could work well, not only the crew, but the audience as well as the One Piece readers. I would like to state that despite how most people think, I don't believe Tama or Law or even Momo are going to join the Strike crew. And I'm going to make several videos depicting why I don't believe they're going to join the crew, but I suppose it could be possible, right? I mean, I've been wrong on some things that Oda has mentioned before, so in all fairness, is Oda's telling a story. I've said this before. Oda's telling a story the way he wants to tell it, and he can tell it just the way he wants. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the basic assumption that I want to go over this is that one of the main theories that a lot of people believe that there will be 13 Straw Hats and stuff like that. Well, I should mention before I didn't exactly say that. I should probably mention like there's basically a theory that Luffy will have 13 Straw Hats and stuff like that. There are two very good connections to lead to this. There might be another one, but I'm only familiar with two. The first one I'll go over is that there was a cover page, and I believe it was 861. All right, I might be wrong, and I'll show a picture of it here in just a few minutes. But it basically features a cover page of Nekomamushi with 13 other cats. Now, a lot of people, or there have been a lot of theories and suggestions on these cats, and some of these cats actually sort of depict some of the Straw Hats and stuff like that. Some of them are easy to understand, and some of them are not. I'll go ahead and show the picture right here. Now, the interesting thing about this is that like I'm saying, like some of these cats are easy to understand, and some of them are not. A lot of people have been depicting their theories on this and stuff, and that they believe some of these cats are to prove that some of the members of the Straw Hat crew or like might give us hints and stuff like that. While that might be a good idea in case, I don't think that's necessarily completely true, because like this came out 861, so like if, say for instance, like if Yamato is going to join the crew and this came out long before she was introduced, I could probably see this as just Oda, like the way I could see this was just Oda introducing like introducing the Strike crew, but all at the same time he was also depicting other members of the Alliance inside the crew as well, members of the Alliance. So I don't think that's necessarily saying that these cats are supposed to represent future members. I suppose it could be possible, but at the same time it's also not possible. So I just want to say that real quick. Okay, so aside from the 13 cat things and stuff like that, and I should mention that a lot of people depict Luffy as either like, well, when it comes to Nekomamushi, some people depict him as being Luffy, and some depict him as being the actual Sunny, the ship Sunny. So 13 cats on the Sunny. That's the only two I'm really getting at, but it's I guess whatever it leads to, it's we'll just have to wait to see. Okay, so the other one I want to talk about is the zodiacs and stuff like that, the 12 zodiacs and stuff, right? So if you're not familiar with the zodiacs and stuff like that, there are 12 there are 12 animals and stuff like that. And on the Chinese zodiac, there are 12 animals depicted for each of a new year and stuff like that. Now, now you're probably asking, well, you're talking about the number 13, why are you saying 12? Well, there are actually 13 animals specifically, all right? But only 12 are each design or but there are only 12 to be precise to the 12 to, well, basically to each new year. So 12 months for each year. So basically before the whole 12 animals basically each got their month for the year. It's like that for like year of the rabbit, like year of the dog, year of the monkey, year of the dragon, like that. All right. Well, at the beginning of the story, there were 13 animals in the race. All right. There was also a cat in the race. All right. The cat, however, did not win the race, all right? So only 12 animals won, the cat did not. Now, this is interesting, and I want to mention this real quick, because I think Nami, reality is, I think Nami also gives better evidence to include Carrot as the member as well, because since the cat is actually not a member of the 12 zodiacs and stuff like that, in terms of like it won the race, and then you can see this as two possibilities. Like you can see the One Piece series itself, like the 13 straw hats and stuff like that, representing these zodiac animals and stuff, is obviously like the race itself to get the laugh tail and stuff like that. It's like a race against time. Now I'm not saying that something bad is going to happen to Nami. I don't want anything bad to happen to Nami. I mean she's a good navigator with a very good looking body, if you know what I mean. But because Nami, who is represented by the cat, is also included, I think that also could clarify that Carrot is going to join as well. All right. And what I mean by this is that if you look at the Vietnamese zodiac page and stuff like that, it's very similar to the Chinese one. All right. But there are only two main differences. All right. The first one is that the ox is actually represented by bison, but that's not really so much of the biggest deal I want to talk about. The big deal I want to talk about is that the cat is actually replaced by the rabbit. All right. So in the Vietnamese one, it's actually a cat instead of a rabbit, while in the Chinese one, it's a rabbit. All right. That's something to basically go over in that. Now there were actually two very specific color spread pages of the straw hats representing zodiacs and stuff like that. The first one I want to go over is this one. So this is from chapter 651, and it basically features the straw hats representing animals. All right, Luffy is represented by the monkey, and a monkey is one of the zodiacs. You have Zoro as the tiger, and tiger is represented by a Chinese zodiac. Who's next? Nami is the cat, obviously, and it was a part of the race. You have Usopp, who is depicted as a chameleon. Now there is no chameleon in the there's no actual chameleon in the thing, but there is a snake. So a lot of people depict Usopp as being the basically being the snake and stuff like that. And not to mention, snakes are known to be like or sort of given a name like lying snake and stuff like that. And Usopp is one to basically lie, not tell the truth, or tell tales. And basically, since he's represented by chameleons and stuff like that, chameleons are reptiles, snakes are reptiles, so that basically goes for that. Sanji is basically represented by like a goat or a ram and stuff like that, and that is basically represented by a zodiac animal itself. Maybe not the exact animal, but very close. Let's see. You have Chopper, who, well, in this cover thing, Chopper is depicted as a red panda, but he's sometimes they depict him as being the rat, since like the rat is like the smallest of all those animals and stuff like that, and Chopper is the smallest of the crew, so they basically depict him as being the rat. Let's see. Next is Robin. Robin is depicted as, I believe, what was she again? A falcon? Yeah, I believe she was a falcon and stuff like that. Basically, they depict her as being the rooster and stuff like that, since in most of the animals that Robin is given, she's always depicted as some kind of bird, and so a lot of people give her the rooster and stuff because of that. All right. Next you have Frankie, who is basically depicted as a rhino, and Oda even clarified that it stated that one of his animals that he would represent would be a bull, and a bull is, or an ox, whatever you prefer, is basically one of the Chinese zodiac animals. Then you have Rook, who is basically a giraffe, but Oda, just like I mentioned for Frankie, Oda basically stated that he would also be a horse if he was an animal and stuff like that, and a horse is represented by Chinese zodiac. Next is Jinbei. And Jinbei is basically represented by a boar. All right. Now the reason for this is that there are two main things to go over. So, all right. So first off is this one. So the first thing to go over is that Oda basically stated that Jinbei's animal form, or like if he was another type of animal, he would be a boar. Right. I mean, not a boar, but a bear. All right. A bear. All right. Funny how that is. So BEAR BOAR. Bear, boar. All right, they're just one vowel different. It's also interesting to point out that is that I believe the translation of I've seen some people mention this, is that the translation, I'm trying to remember how it goes exactly, but a translation of mountain whale is supposed to translate into boar or something like that. Like a boar is supposed to translate into mountain whale. Well, I can't remember specifically how it's supposed to go. All right, but so that's the 10 straw hats that we have right now. Now the only 3 are missing are basically Carrot, Yamato, and Vivi. Well, how can we represent them? Well, if we look over in chapter 890 on the cover page of that one and stuff like that, the cover spread of that one, it also features another zodiac cover page and stuff like that, and it basically depicts something else racing. Now, the interesting thing about this that I want to point out is that you have Carrot. Like this is one like another reason why you can believe that Carrot is going to join the crew is because Carrot is literally clinging on to Luffy. Like she's literally clinging like literally holding on to Luffy and stuff like that. Luffy is basically in the front of the race and stuff like that. However, you have Carrot who's right behind him and stuff like that. Then you have Inuarashi who is basically right beside them and stuff like that. And then close following behind, you have Momo, who's represented by a dragon. Now, I don't, like I said before, I don't believe Momo is going to join the crew, all right? And I'll basically put out my reasons for that some other time, all right? So just don't be hasty, okay? Okay, but and interesting enough, because like I believe Carrot is represented by her own stuff like that. However, I believe Inuarashi is supposed to represent Yamato because keep in mind this cover page actually came out. Well, this color spread actually came out before Yamato was introduced, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense for Yamato to basically introduce for Oda to introduce Yamato in this color spread right before actual introduction. So this is basically to introduce Inuarashi, basically use Inuarashi as the substitute and stuff like that. And and basically using, and I guess you could say the same thing for Momo as well. Plus, it would make a lot more sense for some people. But then some of these animals might not always be completely make sense to some people. They don't quite understand the meanings or the reasons for it. All right, and the interesting thing to point out is that that Inuarashi and Carrot are both from the land of Zoe and stuff like that. They're both minks, all right, and they're both basically tied together, or not like literally tied together, but they're basically like neck to neck in terms of like racing and stuff like that. And I think this could be a good analogy or a good way to think and theorize that that Carrot and Inuarashi, I'm sorry, Carrot and Yamato are basically going to join after Wano and stuff like that because I think you can see it as a good hint that basically they're going to join Luffy's crew at the same time after Wano. There are a lot of theories and adjustments which you can go over. Some people like I mentioned like how and why videos and stuff like that on like I've given my hows and whys on Carrot, Yamato, and Vivi join the crew. For instance, I said for Carrot, I believe she's going to take Pedro's advice to keep moving forward in order to get stronger. For Yamato, I stated that that she wants to basically prove to her father or prove to everyone that people don't have to be afraid of him, that their kind can make friends as well. So she basically wants to sell with Luffy's crew in order to make friends. And then for Vivi, I said it was probably to help save her family, to basically clear their name. And I basically state that the world is basically going to label her as a traitor, like world traitor Vivi, and basically that she's going to stay with the Straw Hats to the end in order to help clear her family and find out what's really going on. That's basically what I had for that. Feel free to go watch those videos. I would really appreciate it. They're very good, all right? But that's all up to you. So, okay, so getting back to the main topic of the story, shall we? All right, moving on. Okay, so like I said, and because of that, they were together. Now, there are basically some situations on Carrot that a lot of people have theorized, right? Like, I'm not the only one who can see this, right? Some people have suggested that Carrot will just sneak back on the Sunny, and I can see that as a possibility, all right? I won't deny that, all right? And that's how Carrot gets on the crew. That's fine by me, all right? That's completely fine by me. She's on the crew, all right? Now, I should actually mention that just because you sail on the Straw Hat ship and stuff like that does not make you a member, right? Carrot sailed on the ship if she's not considered a member, right? Momo has sailed on the ship before, he is not a member, right? It's really like a member is really defined when Luffy officially acknowledges you as being a member itself, right? And because of that, I could see like how a lot of people are saying that Carrot will just sneak back on the ship and stuff like that. Actually, there's a possibility. There is one other possibility. Like, let's say by the end of the series, and like everything is worked out, everything is done, everything is saved, and everyone has a grand party, and it's like that. It's all like everything's back to normal, and the Straw Hats leave, and the Minks leave. Imagine it if it was a situation where, say like, because keep in mind, Pedro basically told Carrot specifically, it doesn't matter how you do it, just keep moving forward. So just keep getting stronger, right? So this you can see that as Pedro telling Carrot, all right, you make the decision, all right? You are basically your own person to make your own decisions, all right? You can choose to do whatever you want, all right? So if Carrot, like in reality, if Carrot wanted to go home back to her friends and family, I don't mind. Like, to me, I would think that would be a very nice thing to do for Carrot. But I also feel like it would be a nice thing for Carrot to basically go on an even more adventure and learn things out there that Pedro didn't even teach her, right? I feel like Pedro only taught her the things that she would only need to know in Zoe, or only a certain amount of things. But just like Nekomamushi, Inuarashi, and even Pedro went out there in the world and experienced things out there, it's because of that helped make them stronger. And I feel like Carrot will basically help learn the same thing as well. And I think it'd be very, very useful and helpful for her. But back to what I'm trying to say is that so So take for instance, like so the minks are getting ready to leave and stuff like that. Carrot goes with them. But imagine if there's a scenario where Carrot realizes that she forgot her stuff, right? Like she forgot like her bag of her carrots and all the stuff that she had stashed away on the sunny and stuff like that, and then all that, like, all right, and she goes to collect it and stuff like that, and no one realizes that when all the Straw Hats get on the sunny, they leave. They don't realize Carrot's on the air, and they basically sail off, and then and the minks leave as well, and then nobody realizes that Carrot and nobody realizes that Carrot's there, and all of a sudden, it's like too late. Like they've already set their destination, and then like Luffy's got no other choice and says, "Well, I guess I have no other choice. Fine, then you're remembered too. You can join." I could totally see that as a possibility, all right? And it would completely parallel Carrot sneaking aboard the ship, just like Inuarashi and Nekomamushi did and stuff like that. They sort of did the same thing, and they sort of did the same thing twice, all right? So you can sort of see a parallel for Carrot doing the same thing because she already did it once, so it can obviously parallel her doing it again to parallel the same thing. Just a bit of an idea to throw out there. Okay, the next thing to go over is Yamato, right? Now, Yamato, I could see very well doing the exact same thing because like Yamato is really like asking to join Luffy's crew, but not in the sense of like literally demanding it and stuff like that. I feel like Yamato is like going to be like represented by Oden in a way, and just like how Oden joined Whitebeard's crew, all right? Whitebeard did not want to take Oden with him and stuff like that, and he basically and yeah, Oden was pretty stubborn and stuff like that. Like he really wanted to go out to sea, and when he met Whitebeard and stuff like that, he really wanted to go out there and travel with them and stuff like that. So I can see that as being a parallel for Yamato, except instead of like with Whitebeard's crew or anything like that, it's represented by the Straw Hat crew. Which I think I think it could work. I think it's not a bad idea when you think about it. Alright, and we do know that Yamato is her devil fruit and stuff like that is a mythical wolf deity and stuff like that. The Inu no Mi, mythical model Oguchi no Makami. Which is basically a wolf deity. So that is why she is represented by Itarashi in that color spread I just showed that I already showed before. After that, we next have Momo, who's represented by the dragon. Now, as I said before, I don't believe Momo is going to join the crew. No, I believe the dragon is represented by Vivi. All right, and the reason why I believe this, and it's not so much of a good theory, and there's not like a hard evidence to back it up. But the only things I can think of in general is that Vivi is like carries the blood of a celestial dragon, but she's not considered a celestial dragon, all right? Take for instance, like Vivi is descended. Like so, it was stated that the One Piece world, the world government, was founded by 20 kingdoms, all right? It was founded by 20 kingdoms, all right? But one of those kingdoms, the Nefertari family, who is basically Vivi, who is Vivi descended from, decided to stay in their home kingdom of Alabasta. They decided not to go to marriage wall with all the other ones, so they decided to remain in their own kingdom. That is basically why she is depicted as a traitor. And I feel like it's and well, basically because of this, she does carry the blood of Celestial Dragon. Other things you can look at and forward to is that Luffy, who is the son of who is literally the son of Dragon, the son of a man named Dragon, actually managed to help save her kingdom. Another thing to point out is that and I do believe that she will join right after the Wano arc and stuff like that. And in Wano, we're in the middle of fighting a huge dragon. You can also see Vivi's story being not, I wouldn't say similar or to the like the fish gate the Chinese fish gate where a fish swims up the waterfall and stuff like that and turns into a dragon. Not the same as that. Not like literally the same, but metaphorically like spiritually the same. That you can basically depict Vivi's struggles at first, or like her basically her struggles and stuff like that, to basically enter Baroque works and help take down the stop crocodile cost, being sort of like her being the fish, and sort of like a fish out of water. In this, you can see that as a little case, since Alabasta was basically a desert or and like that, where water was not even coming forward and like that, and basically you see her as a fish out of water, especially when you see how Alabasta was, all right. And at the end, basically when she met Luffy and like that she basically became a stronger person of herself. Like she became more confident and more like she basically like grew, not in the literal sense, but she basically had more faith to believe in herself and friends and things like that, and they all together they managed to help take down Bro Works and stuff like that and save Vivi's kingdom. So Vivi has basically transformed very well and stuff like that. So, and who knows, like may there be other reasons like that, but and Oda has already confirmed that Vivi is the 13th Straw Hat when he's given that number. All right, so okay. Alright, so one thing I want to go over is that why Vivi is basically depicted as the last and 13th. And this kind of makes sense when you think about it. Alright, so let's look at this. Alright, 13 in Japanese is Jusan, alright? Jusan, alright? Literally 10-3. This means the reading for chapter 103 is Ju-san. 1, and it's like 10 3, so 103, so you split that up, 103 equals 13. Chapter 103 is the chapter Vivi first appears, alright? Vivi first joins the crew in Whiskey Peak. This happens in chapter 113 in volume 13. 113 can be read as Hito 1, Hito for 1, 13 for Juson, with Hito meaning person or people. 113 Hito Juson equals 13 people, alright? So basically 13 Straw Hats. That's one thing to go over and stuff like that. Now, there are a couple theories out there on some things and stuff like that. Some people have depicted their own theories on like this, but I want to go over this real quick and stuff like that. Is that I'll go over this one right like now. There's this Reddit post and stuff like that. And this one is posted by Almondmint, alright? Almondmint, alright? And basically in this theory video and stuff like that, and I like this. Like this to me, like this can make a lot of sense. Is that he's basically sort of depicting that if Luffy, there's gonna be 13 Straw Hats, including like Luffy, alright? So basically, like that would include Luffy as well, alright? So Luffy plus 12 disciples, alright, and 12 disciples. Is that he believes is that Blackbeard will have 12 Blackbeard and his 12 Titans will basically versus Luffy and his 12 Olympian Straw Hats, alright? Now, that's not saying that Luffy's Straw Hats are going to be called Olympians or anything like that, but, he's basically defining, like, the Titanic captains, Titanic, defining the Titans in Greek mythology and stuff like that, the 12 Titans in Greek mythology. I think this could be a really unique, I think that could be a really unique idea, and I think it could work, alright? I'm all down for that, alright? So, like, if that's really going to happen, and we saw Blackbeard still trying to recruit more members into his crew, so, we haven't met the Tiff one yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the, when we get to Blackbeard era, we're going to see more members, and we'll need to wait to see, but yeah. Alright, so another thing I want to go over is this, right? So this can be very important. I'm sure a lot of people I'm sure some people have noticed this and stuff like that, but it's probably very good and interesting to point out. Alright, so the Straw Hats are called Mugiwara no Ichimi, alright? Now, this is very suspicious and stuff like that, as normal pirate crews are called Kaizo Kuden and pirates, like Kurohige e Kaizo Kuden, or Blackbeard pirates, alright? Or the Hyakuju Kaizo Kuden, beast pirates, right? With Ichimi not meaning pirates, simply crew, right? The reason is Gorowase, basically Japanese wordplay, right? Ichi means 1, Mi means Mitsu, is 3. Mugiwara no Ichimi equals the 13 Straw Hats. So some people have actually started depicting this and stuff like that, is that, basically, Mugiwara for Straw Hats, the Straw Hat crew, basically Ichimi for crew, Ichi 13, basically the 13 Straw Hat crew members. And other things to point out is that Luffy for each place that Luffy has visited in sea, he added 4 new members. East Blue he added 4. The Grand Line he added 4, and a lot of people believe in New World he will have 4 new members. Now, some people depicted that I feel like Oda has shown that he is willing to follow a pattern, but at the same time he is also shown not willing to follow the pattern, right? So he's basically gone in both directions, right? So we can't necessarily believe that Oda will always follow the pattern and stuff like that because like what everyone believes, when he can obviously go in the opposite direction when he knows that people expect it too much, which probably makes us in reality, after me saying that, it makes you think like, well, doesn't that just say that Carrot and Yamato isn't going to join the crew because a lot of people expect it too much? And yeah, so I'm hoping that's not the case. I really do hope that's not the case. So like I said, shout out to Almondmint for that suggestions like that. That is a very good one, and I find it to be a really good idea. So Blackbeard's 12 Olympians versus Luffy's 12. Blackbeard's 12 Titans versus Luffy's 12 Olympians. So I'm all down for that. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I've gone over the main things to go over and stuff like that. So not much else to say, but like in reality, like there's no reason to say that these, like, in reality, like these characters, like I guess some of the main reasons I wanted to join is because they've already shown, well, not except for Yamato, alright? Like, Yamato is the only one who hasn't interacted with much of the crew just yet, but Carrot and Vivi have, alright? So they have shown, like, and be honest, I should actually mention this real quick. Like, Carrot and Vivi have shown to already be well with the crew, and Yamato is shown to basically shown to the audience that she probably could fit in the crew, even without having to meet the crew, right? See, that's the thing about writing, is when you write a specific character or it's like that, and you basically show that character would fit really well within that crew, even before or that character even meets the set people that you depicted on them having introduced. That's very well in introducing a character in writing style. Another thing I want to point out is that, some people depict that it's already too late for Karen to join and things like that. She should have already joined long before. Well, we've had to wait a long time for Jinbei to finally join, so, like, if that's the case, then that's not a very good argument for Carrot. No offense, I'm sure some people out there, people have their reasons and stuff like that, but it's not a very good argument. Another thing to go over is this, is that, the way I can see this is that both Carrot and Yamato are going to join the crew at Wano, and I believe Oda is doing it like this. So first he introduces Carrot, or, basically starts off with Carrot, slowly has people warm to Carrot by having Carrot, travel to Whole Cake Islands like that, and traveling to Wano, and basically building her hype, alright? Then in Onigashima, when we get to the raid, we introduce Yamato, we get some very good focus on Yamato in order to help hype her up and get introduced to her, right? And then basically by the end of Wano, it's like that because, it would be very hard to represent these two characters at the same time, especially with everything that's going on in Onigashima, right? It'd basically make everything too cluttered and it would make too much sense. So first you introduce Carrot first, and then you slowly work with her very slowly at the moment, and then you introduce Yamato, you give her much hype, you raise her up, and then by the end of Wano, when it's time to leave, you finally set in stone is that you're going to have these two characters join the crew at the exact same time, alright? And keep in mind, like I said, they're joining the crew at the same time, doesn't mean they had to be introduced at the same time, alright? So basically to point that out. If you're familiar who that is Socks. I've pointed around some of my videos before. But yeah, so this is Socks. Alright, so yeah, so that's basically it. So that's basically all I have for the video. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you got a chance to watch it, smash that like button if you want to, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. You have a good day. Bye now.